there are a few who are running legislation that I just find really reprehensible often, but they're a minority, and some of those bills that passed out of the House and went to the Senate, they got killed um, before they could become bad laws. And so some of that work that the Senate does to kill certain bills that come out of the House can be incredibly beneficial to the process and to our communities.
That makes sense. And you don't have to answer this, but thinking of Trevor Lee, is that yeah, if
Yeah,
you don't want to, but yeah, 'cause that's kind of what
yeah,
I was following. It sounds like
yeah, definitely.
some of his stuff got killed in committee meetings and wasn't passing. Probably, I
Yeah,
would imagine there's members in his own party that are like, hey, this guy doesn't always represent us or make us look good to the general
exactly.
public.
Yeah. And so senators especially will take that piece of it, like the impact that Trevor Lee's bills, like Trevor Lee's a perfect example of this, but he's not the only one. What their bills could do to the reputation of the party, what it could do to the public discourse around serious issues that we're facing. There was a bill that was pretty notorious, HB 88, that was cutting public benefits for undocumented individuals in our communities statewide, and it kept getting substituted in the House until it got to a place where maybe it was palatable to some and it could pass. And it came to the House floor, and we had a robust debate about it, but it was mostly Republicans debating with each other, right? And more moderate Republicans saying this isn't who we are, this policy isn't where it needs to be, and ultimately they voted to hold HB 88, and we were like, yay! But then Trevor Lee pulled a bit of a legislative I don't know, maneuver where they took the text and like the main thing that this final substitute of HB 88 would do, and they put it inside of another bill, HB 396, um, with a different sponsor, Lisa Shepard, and they were barely able to pass that out of the House, and it was incredibly frustrating. Um, but when it left the House and went to the Senate, no senator agreed to be its sponsor, right? And like I said, you have to have a sponsor in the other body to pick up that bill and carry it forward. No sponsors stepped forward, and so the bill died. And that was again a demonstration of how senators can stand on principle and say, you know what, this legislation doesn't reflect us. It's not what we're trying to do, and we're going to let it die over here in our body because we got more serious bills to pass, and we don't have time for this nonsense.